Welcome back. So today I have a really cool deck list for you. I came second at locals with it, and also it's the same deck profile as the Azulongmon versus Bielstar. So you asked for the deck profile and here it is. Let's go. Make sure to go to topdecktcg.com and use code BULB810 for 10% off your next purchase. Starting with our eggs, we have the 4 Demimeramon. Draw trash is always really good because you're trying to fill up your graveyard as much as possible for your Bielstar. And then we're playing the 1 Tsunomon, which is good when you have a Soundbirdmon. So when you're like attacking, then you get to trash a card, gain a memory, and then if you have the Tsunomon on board, you also get to just draw a card. So it's very handy. A good 5th egg. Moving on to our rookies, and a rookie I like to play in a lot of my purple decks, especially this one though, is the Labramon. So on play, draw 1, trash 1. You're getting more resources in your hand, but you're also getting more in your trash. So you can fill up the trash for Bielstar, but at the same time be able to stall until you have your Bielstar either in hand or you have enough in trash that it's worth playing her. Next up, I'm playing 4 of the BT6 Impmon. I think this Impmon is actually really good for the deck. I played this one instead of the other one. I don't play the other one at all. And the main reason being is because you can trash a card in your hand and then bring back a 3 Musketeers. You can bring back your Gundramons, you can bring back your Bielstars. That is super valuable if you accidentally trash your Bielstar from security, anything like that. You'll always be able to have access to her if you have this card. Also, it's a rookie, so you know you're going to be putting on the egg. It gives you more draw power. Brilliant card, and definitely a 4 of. Next up, I'm playing 4 of the Soundbirdmon. This card goes really well with the Tsunomon, but it's also good with the Demimeramon in the first place anyway. So you're always going to be chucking him in on egg as much as you can. And then when you attack, you get to trash an option card in your hand to gain a memory. Now, you want to trash your option cards anyway because of the Bielstar. But also the gaining a memory is really cool, especially if you're on 0, you're trying to get to 1. So you can play either your Gundramon for 11 if you have to hard play him. Then, like I said earlier on, if you attack with your Soundbird and you trash your option card, that activates your Tsunomon, which means you can just draw a card. So these 2 cards are really good together, and I like Soundbirdmon. And then if he's on the Demimera, he's more than likely going to die because he's only 1000 DP, which means you get your draw trash off the Demimeramon as well. Then I'm playing 2 of the Gazimon, a must in most purple decks because you want to shut down people's memory boosts. And this today shut down a yellow memory boost and kept me alive until I could win the game. So Gazi puts in the work. And finally, the last of my rookies, I'm playing 1 Tapermon. I just find him he's really good. You know, on deletion, you get to draw a card. You can bring him back with your nail bones if you want, and he's just a cool little rookie. On to the level 4s. So it wouldn't be a musket deck without your Deputymon. On play, you get to reveal the top 4 cards of your deck and add a musket and a option card. Of course, the option card has to be a 7-cost option card, but you only play 7-cost option cards in this deck anyway. So it's cool that you get to be able to add both, and then you trash the rest. So if you have extra option cards from the 4 cards, you can just put them in the trash, and then that's building up for your Bielstarmon as well. And then it's really good because this card goes very well with your Gundramon. Then I'm playing 2 Vilemon. I think it's just handy to have blockers. Sometimes a blocker is the difference between you winning and losing a match. I like to always have some blockers in the deck, so I'm just playing the 2 Vilemon, and then I'm playing 1 Mechanorimon. I think he's just a really good blocker, especially against decks that try to rookie rush you. Gababond being one of them, because if they don't see their pieces, they are going to try and rookie rush you down, and your Mechanorimon can stop that. I'm not playing any level 5s in this deck, but we're going to hop straight onto our level 6. So our main boss monster is our Bielstarmon. Her on-play cost gets reduced by 1 for each musket or 7-cost option card in your grave. So you can potentially make this really cheap. I actually played her for 1 today, which was really cool. She's always going to be a 4 of, and technically an 8 of if you're playing the 4 Impmon as well. Very cool card, and the whole reason that this deck is as good as it is. And also the alt art looks absolutely amazing, and it looks even more amazing on my beautiful mat from LumchopArt.com. The next level 6 we're playing is the 4 Gundramon. Some people actually play him at 3, but I actually really like this card, so I do tend to keep him at 4. Of course, he can digivolve onto your Deputymon for 6, which is really cool in the first place, and then he gets to look at the top 5 cards of your deck, either play a 7-cost option from them, or you can delete a Digimon with a play cost of 4 or less. So he does the work, and he's a big spicy blocker, so a lot of things will either have to get rid of him or just have a really hard time getting past him, having to commit at least 2 dudes to board every time they want to go for 1 security. Then what makes this deck super fun is I'm playing 3 of the Omnimon's Worth defeats. You can Digivolve him onto your Beelstar or your Gundramon and delete their tamers, and we know how important the tamers are in your Gabu Bond and your Agu Bond, so you can straight up get rid of their tamers after they've spent so long trying to find them, so that's always fun. Also, when it dies, you get to delete one of your opponent's Digimon just straight up, so that has actually come in handy a lot more than I expected it to. And obviously you have Zwart defeats. Other effect of it just comes out in security, so you know, you can never always 100% rely on the count that's on board when going for game when you're against this musket deck. Then I'm playing 1 Millenniumon. He's just a cool tech that I put in, and he has come in handy quite a bit. So when you Digivolve into Millenniumon, you get to put one of your opponent's Digimon to the bottom of their deck, which means cards like Salamon and other cards that are triggering recovery or anything else that they do on deletion don't activate because you're putting it to the bottom of the deck, so that is like really handy. And then the last of the level 7s are, I'm playing 1 Omnimon's Wart. I wouldn't play it more than 1 because I do want to see my Zwart defeats more than I want to see my Zwart, but it does come in handy every now and then because you get to trash the top 3 cards of your deck and then play 2 black or purple Digimon with a play cost of 8 or less. And if you go back to your turn and they haven't dealt with the Omnimon's Wart, you get to add back your either Beelstar or your Gundramon to delete one of their dudes. So it's really good card, but obviously when it comes out on board, a lot of the time they're going to try and get rid of it, so they have to commit a lot of resources just to get rid of this. Then onto our option cards. I am playing 4 Fly Bullet. I really like this card because I know you've got the Gabu Bond, which is a level 7, but the majority of cards aren't going to be able to deal with a Fly Bullet. It goes off in security, and it doesn't matter if the Digimon is suspended or unsuspended, you can still kill it. So I think Fly Bullet is just really cool for that in the first place. And you want to play a lot of option cards, so this would be my main choice. Next up, I have 3 Trump Swords to deal with the level 7s, especially cards like Gabu Bond, because they unsuspend when they're attacking, so if they hit that on security, the likelihood of them being unsuspended is actually quite high. So it can kill that straight up, which is really, really nice when it happens. But obviously as well, Trump Sword can just straight up kill a lot of Digimon as long as they are unsuspended. Then I'm playing 2 Nailbone, so you can bring back your Vilemon or any of your rookies, which is quite nice. That's another reason I am playing the 2 Vilemon, just for the Nailbone as well, because you're not able to bring back the black level 4s, so it is nice to be able to bring back 2 instead of just 1 Digimon, especially if you have the Vilemon in your trash and then you have an extra blocker on board. Then I'm playing 2 of the Happy Bullet Showering. This card is really cool because if your opponent has no other Digimon on board and you have a guy on board that you're finding really difficult to deal with, this will just clear it. This can clear your Omnimons as long as it is the only dude on board. So I do like to keep this at 2, and it also goes off in security, which is very nice. And then finally for the option cards, I'm playing 2 Gelchwarmer to deal with people who think they can make a wide board and defeat you. The last 2 cards in my deck are 2 Analog Youth. I think this card is really, really good for the Musketeer deck because you get to 1, search for a piece that you're looking for. You can add any Digimon, which is very cool. 2, it trashes all the cards, so you're looking for most of the things to go into your trash anyway. So it's actually very helpful for that. And then if you have Digivolved, say one of your Zwarts or your Millenniumon or your Zwart Defeat on top of the Beelstar, or say you have a Gundramon on top of a Deputymon and it gets deleted, then you get to suspend him, hatch an egg and gain a memory, which is just a nice little bit because it has to be over a level 5, and the majority of Digimon apart from your rookies that you're playing are going to be over level 5. So that is the deck profile. Let me know what you guys think, if you change it in any way, or if you decide to try it out, let me know how you get on. Like I said, I did come second with it in locals today, so I think I probably need a little bit more practice. I could have done some things a little bit better, but that's alright. The deck is definitely very, very good, and I think it could probably wreck some people, and we may as well keep playing it until BT7 comes out and then we get to play Jogress. So that's gonna be super fun. I'll see you all next time. Bye.